I think it is, and the only reason I say it is over England. Not over England, because this year is like my ultimate year, right? We play 4 tests in India, and then 5 tests in England with a test championship, hopefully, as well. But I think just because of the such extremes in conditions, from at least when you go to England, it's seam bowling and swing bowling. So we've got a good seam bowling attack. So it levels the playing field. But very rarely in Australia do we play with 2 spinners. So when you come to a country like India and your first 2 bowlers that are picked are probably spinners. That obviously changes the dynamic. You have to dig deep, you have to play different shots, you have to find different methods to score, because you're not facing swing or seam or fast bowling, it's spin. Obviously, they got a really good pace attack as well, but the challenges over the years has been spin. Yeah, I think so. I think spin will play a massive part in the series. I would say it'll play a major part, but I wouldn't discount the role that reverse swing and seam bowling will play, because I think that'll be very big as well. Passion, skill and emotion. No, we haven't spoken about that at all. It's not even crossed our mind. I think this is a much different challenge than the one. We're a different team with a different level of confidence than we were then. Lots of things have changed, different coaching staff. So yeah, it's definitely not something that we've talked about at all. But I think, we're very excited, for this team, because I think we're in such a great space as a group. Well, I think, something that's always synonymous to Australian teams is fast bowling. I think we've got great fast bowlers for any conditions, and I think the likes of our fast bowling group showed that in Sri Lanka and India. We've got one of the best off spinners of all time playing for us, so that should hold us in really good stead. And yes, thirdly, I think we've never had a batting lineup so secure in method, in belief, and in trust in each other's game. Certainly not in the time that I've played. The reason I think this is a massive opportunity for us is it's very rare to have such a great balance of senior players, middle-aged players, and then young players come in, and I think that's what makes this such a great opportunity. You got likes of the stalwarts at the top. Warner and Khawaja, unbelievable experience. They've had 3 or 4 tours here. They've got methods. You've got the likes of Steve Smith, who's had 3 or 4 tours here, so much experience, and the likes of Cameron Green, Travis Head. Cameron Green being the young guy in the team, but with so much ability, skill, and so much trust from the team. And then obviously the likes of myself and Travis, who are sort of that middle group. We've been inside for 4 or 5 years now. We've learned so much off those senior players, and we're able to come in here and trust our skills. And and I think we haven't really chopped and changed, and I think that's what makes it really good. I look at previous times, and there's chopping and changing, and people are moving around. And I think that's what makes it difficult to get that continuity. Where right now I think we've got a great mixture, balance, and trust in the team. I think that there's lots of similarities between us. I think we both love thinking about the game. We both love watching the game. And I'm excited for the chess game out on the field. I think, moving fielders around, he's going to try and get me to hit in certain areas. It's just going to be a great contest. What makes him great is his variety. For an off spinner to have, 5 or 6 deliveries is unheard of. So for him to be able to change the seam angle, where he's bowling on the crease, arm angles, wrist angles, all that sort of stuff is what makes him so good. But obviously, there's no point talking about how good he is. We've got to yeah, we got to take the challenge on, and we got to put pressure on him. And I think it's going to be a really exciting series. There's too much. There's too much I've learned from him over time. I love the way he bats. I love the way his pre-movement. I like the way he plays ball on the leg side, uses his wrist, turns his top hand over. But I mean, I can go into detail. I just love one thing I noticed from Virat, and I think I've definitely thought about this since then. But you talk about that period of time where he hadn't scored 100 or hasn't played well, and when you see him on the field, you wouldn't know that he's going through a lean patch, because he exudes confidence. He's got that belief and that trust. Doesn't matter what. He could have had 6 ducks in a row, but he comes out there like he owns that piece of turf that he's walking on. I think that is the art of batting. And I spoke to AB actually, when I played with Brisbane Heat with AB, and he said the same thing. Yeah, sometimes it's not about how good you feel. It's about faking it. And I think I learned that from Virat, because I think you bring that energy, you bring that confidence, that real atmosphere to the crease. You'll trick your body into then getting you on the road, and all of a sudden you hit a few good shots, and you go, actually, I am feeling good. This is not just something that you're putting on. So I learned that from him in this patch that he had, that he didn't do well, and I think that's what makes him so good. And I think only the great players have that ability. They might go through a patch where they're not scoring runs, but you wouldn't be able to tell.